Hi, my name is Etoh. I'm with Dignitas, and this is Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas. I'm sitting down with Trade Like Pro's PRISM at the moment, and honestly, this is a squad that I'm really interested in seeing coming up. We have three members currently on the call: Australis, BUI, and SHELLY. And first, starting with you, Australis, I want to figure out. Is there any reason why Valorant in particular you just kind of like took towards than, CS:GO?
It's a CS:GO that I can play as a girl model and use magic abilities.
Fair. No, that's 100% fair. The abilities are really nice, aren't they? Bowie, how about you?
I originally came from COD, so when I was grinding that, my friends would leave to play Valorant, and our group kind of disbanded
Mm-hmm.
to go play Valorant. So I just wanted to give it a shot since it seems fun and interesting.
And I'm guessing, considering you're playing on a team for it right now and under an organization, that it is fun. Do you prefer
Yeah,
it
it
more than
is.
COD?
Yeah, COD is not as fun anymore. Valorant's been really good.
Well, Shelly, I want to ask you the same thing.
This is a time where I got my PC, so I've never played a PC game before this, and I realized, I guess I'm okay at the game, so I just kept playing it, and here we are.
Wow. Well, I guess that kind of leads into my next question as well, is how did you get started competing? Again, I want to go through all of you. Astralis, like how did you go from playing Overwatch, and I'm not sure if you're playing at a competitive level, to then playing Valorant, and what made you want to actually like play on a team, play in tournaments, play in Game Changers?
I want to prove that girls can definitely be good. Then
Mm-hmm.
they could destroy boys, to be honest. Cause yeah, pretty much. I just want to prove that how good girls could be in
Mm-hmm.
competitive gaming.
It's just
Mm,
that kind of drive to compete and be the best, basically.
I started when I was like 9. Started playing FPSs,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess in a way I kind of want to finish what my dad started since he couldn't do it.
Bowie, how about you? How did you get started competing?
Honestly, I just played casually. I was just there
Mm-hmm.
just to get like a higher rank, and then the owner of the organization, we had each other as friends on Valorant.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up playing a couple games. It's like, hey, like there's a female team that um I have, and if you wanted to, did you want to come try out? So that was my first touch, I guess, of trying out for teams or getting into like this new community.
Well, I want to know if the same thing goes for you, Shelly.
Yeah, pretty much. I also just like the adrenaline rush of competing and just having fun.
I like it. It's simple. I mean, sometimes you just like competing, and that's enough to drive you from like playing it just kind of on a casual basis. Australis, my next question is, how did this project get started? You're the team captain. How did this project come to be?
Shelly tried out. I had to simp really hard to get her on the team for everyone else. Same with Mara. I had to literally like beg and say I had to literally go through every statistic that they did to prove that they were good. But we gave her a chance even though she wasn't very
Yeah,
hot at the start.
I did very
Yeah.
bad on my first tryouts. I did really
Really?
bad. I dropped 3 kills. That's
She
pog.
didn't say a
It's
word.
more
She
than
didn't say a
two.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was not having it.
We gave her a
Wow.
chance because we were like, wow, we put her in icebox twice. Let's see, maybe this just isn't it. Maybe this just isn't it. What's cool, we were
Icebox is
already a
fine.
team before we joined this, except for Bowie.
Mhm.
Oh,
Shelly,
really?
me, and Mayara were on a different team, but then we left there because of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought them with me because I'm like, this is a neat opportunity. It's
Wow.
better than what we had.
Obviously one of your teammates isn't on the call at the moment. Tell me about them. What are we missing out by not being able to interview them at the moment? What are they like? And, obviously since you started on one team and you transitioned over to this team with them, they must be pretty fun to play with.
Before she tried Breach, and that was a little
She
shaky,
had a
but
breakdown.
yeah. But her Sova, like she's been doing really good on Sova, and she learned it pretty quickly. So
I want to actually bring this now back to Game Changers itself because, obviously this is what this interview is for. Heading into the Verizon VCT Game Changers, what team are you most excited to play up against here?
In the past, we actually got pretty close to beating CLG Red. So I
Wow.
think I'd hope we'd get better than last time, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Or we just do worse, but CLG Red, to be
That's the
honest.
spirit. CLG Red Buoy, how about you?
For me, since I'm pretty new to this scene, I'm actually not sure of many teams, but if anything, maybe Mana Love Frogs.
Really, the
They,
Flogs, huh?
yeah, I don't know. We've played against them. I guess has it been twice, 2 times or
Mm-hmm.
something? And like the first game was super close, and the second one it like wasn't as. But I feel like if we like pull it together, have a better mindset change and outlook, and our fifth obviously, maybe like we can actually like make a name for ourselves and like finally show that we deserve to be here.
I would say CLG Red too, because whenever we did play them, both maps were 11-13, so, and we had I think we had 3 different teammates, so it wasn't like all of us
Wow.
together, so, yeah, I'm CLG Red for sure.
Expectations-wise, you're heading into this tournament. Again, you kind of mentioned that you want to beat CLG Red, but what would you be happy with? What's your goal?
I would probably want to get top eight or top
Mhm.
10. I just want to see that we could have coordination. I don't really care if we win because there's always other times to win, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like, I just want to see that the other girls definitely learned something, including myself, that we definitely like improved and we
Yeah.
aren't just sitting in the same spot.
BUI, how about you? Do you want top 8 or do you want something more ambitious?
Yeah, I agree with Australis. Like, obviously, like we're here to play to win, but I think it's just like most realistic thing is like just to like have us show that since we haven't been together as a group for like that long, like a full roster in comparison to the other girls, that like we can
Mhm.
still perform, we can still show that like we're good players in the end. And like regardless of like our placements, like even if we are top 10, like that's a big achievement on its own already.
Well, I mean, Shelly, I want to ask you the same thing. Do you share the same vibe energy as your other 2 teammates?
We always learn something whenever we compete in general, so as long as we just improve, everything's good.
Yeah, you go ahead and call it a day. Call it a good
Yeah.
tournament. Final question is kind of just as a scene as a whole. I kind of like the idea of if you could go back to yourself, a year past or something like that. What advice would you give yourself if you could? What have you learned basically in this past year?
Don't compete against someone and actually think like, oh, they're probably gonna roll me or anything. You have to
Yeah,
go into something and be like, yeah, I'm the best. I'll win. You have to have like confidence. Confidence really does go a long way.
yeah.
Like, there's a difference between like ego, but like if you can back it up, I mean, go into something and be like, yeah, I'm gonna win this. I'm good, instead of like doubting yourself. That's
I
what
like
I
it.
roll with.
You gotta always have an ego, right? Bowie, how about you? Do you echo that statement that you have to have an ego?
It's depending on the level like how egotistical you are. I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
a level of like having lots of confidence, but you can back up like what you're saying or like how you're
Back up the
performing.
claims. Yeah.
Yeah, and then but if you're too egotistical, it's gonna be like where you're just all talk no game, and which I don't really like. But if you're good enough and you do say stuff, but you can back it up, then that's like fine with me, honestly. But I think if
Mm-hmm.
anything for advice is like being like having a good mental is probably like where it starts, like having positive outlook and everything like that. It'll like take you a lot further than just mechanical skill, because although mechanical skill is like raw aim and everything like that, is like once your mental goes down, your aim and like your drive kind of drops as well. So
Mm-hmm.
confidence for sure.
I love that answer. Shelly, how about you? Same idea?
I agree with the mental thing, but another thing is like I was iron in the beta. So like, people were probably like, "Man, like I can never get out of this rank," or, you know, whatever the case may be, but like at that time I never thought I would kind of be where I am now. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just pushed myself to like keep playing and, keep working on it and yeah, just never stop.
Never stop, keep on pushing. I like it. It's all good
Yeah.
advice. Thank you all so much, and good luck in the Verizon VCT Game Changers.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.